Welcome everyone, and thanks for joining me for another special health focus class. Let's take right hand in fist please, and left hand straight. Pull back the thumb with feet together, hands together, and press forwards. Good, and relax and open your stance. Now folks, excuse me for being out of uniform today. Just didn't have time to change before class. So we're going to start with a little warm-up, feeding the hips into the four corners. This is one of our Grandmaster Chen's favourite exercises. And it's very simple, but it's very effective. So if you have injury, if you have an upset system, this can be very useful indeed. But always it's a case of suck it and see. Basically see what happens, see how your system responds. So it depends how acute an injury is. Sometimes even this is just too much. You could adapt so that it's a much smaller movement. Let's try that just in case that's the case for yourself. If you think of a little postage stamp right underneath the tip of your tailbone, and imagine your tailbone is like a biro, ballpoint pen. Think of drawing around the postage stamp. So in order to do that, we want to release and think of this column of your spine as like a chain. Sometimes it's being referred to as a string of pearls being held up by the top pearl. So the spine is very loose and relaxed, and you're just using a little bit of momentum really to do the work for you. Hello, Pussycat. Hello. This is Rosie. Hello. You a good girl? She'll come up and say, I love you, and then next thing you know, she tries to scratch your hands. It's a very high-strung little girl. Okay, so as you can see, a smaller movement, hopefully you're feeling this, a smaller movement can be a lot more soothing. So if you are having major issues, try doing a small movement. Keep going, please, while I let someone else in. Okay, so the key, if you are using the smaller movement, is not to try to control it, but rather to let go and let momentum do it for you. So you're really just guiding it with your awareness rather than trying to carry or position. And the body naturally will round off the corners. So though we're guiding into the four corners, there's absolutely no attempt to make any kind of sharp edge or sharp corner. Breathe and relax. Good. So see how that works for you and notice which one is more comfortable. So you can try a few rounds, maybe 10 or 20 in the smaller swirl into the four corners, and then try a little bit bigger so that you're describing the edges of your feet, and see which one feels more comfortable, more soothing. So this exercise is supposed to, or will, soothe and relax. It'll free up any contracted muscles. It will help loosen and lubricate the joints. It will help the energy to swirl and to free up any little issues. And it's feeding energy into this area. So if there's any lower back or upper leg issues, this exercise will help. As I understand it, the master has set this exercise because it helps to reset the pelvic muscles. So if there are any issues, we iron them out before we even start. Good. Very nice. Let's change direction. I also notice if I do this exercise first before I do standing, I just get a much better sense of center. I can feel my center is more full and that there's just more energy in the area. So again, we've changed direction, so let's try it at the two different levels. So we try the bigger level first, if you like. And again, we're just describing the size of the feet. We're going to the four corners of the feet. We want everything to be nice and loose and relaxed. And we want the breath to flow. So see how that feels. If that feels good, then you can stick with that. If, however, this is causing issues or feels not quite right, then you can go a lot smaller and try it now. So you are drawing around a postage stamp with the tip of your tail. Again, keep it nice and loose, keep the whole spine loose, keep the top of the head light. And just notice how that feels. Now you can do anything in between the two sizes. I find that though they're quite different, there's not much between them. I don't think I could do a halfway house. It's either big or small. But play with it and see how you feel. And I would do 20 or 30 in each direction just to begin with and see how you get on. Very good. Ease from your stance. Then, of course, you can build it up. So if you are struggling, as I say, with lower back pain, upper leg pain, sciatic pain, things like that, I think the wise course of action is little and often, as opposed to blasting yourself going, this will help. No, not necessarily. Blasting anything, if you think of, anything, you don't go from injury to full on, just little by little, and it should get better. Okay, so let's do a little turn in the waist. And again, I want you to keep the top of the head floating up, keep the chin slightly down and back, and allow the hips to stay put, and just let the belly swivel very gently inside the hips. And breathe. So the focus in this exercise is the center. You're turning in the center. You can think of that egg swiveling in the egg cup. Again, if you have injury or discomfort, you can keep it quite small. You can make the movement quite subtle. So you're not putting the brakes on, but just giving it less momentum in the first place. And the arms should be like water. You're just gently letting them flow, but keeping awareness in the hands, listening. Very good. And rest. Good. All right. So let's do our open door 5 and the second move in the 7 stars and rotations Qigong as well. So we're going to start with Wuji, but we have our feet already open, shoulder width and level. We float up through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back, and let's lengthen the fingers gently downwards. Take a few moments and breathe. Allow your system to release. Find that quiet place. So listening both inside and to the environment around you. That silence underneath the noise of activity. And gently bring your awareness back to your space. Feel to all 10 fingers. If your eyes are closed, slowly, gently open your eyes and scoop. Filling your back, lift and guide your hands into your center. Feel through to your back and lift. Keep going. Fill your back and release. And again, the small of the back fills back and release. Press down and away. And again. Good. Now I'd like you to rest your hands, please, level with your waist. I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see this next movement. The idea here is that as you expand forwards, you fill your back gently back. Do you see that? That's not just my shirt. My back is flat, so it's smoothed out and filled the hollow of the back. And then I release. And again, filling the back as we expand forward and release. Now there's no need to push, rather just a feeling of fullness, like a balloon is being filled. This exercise alone can really help to release and ease sciatic pain, because the sciatic nerve comes between the L4 and L5 vertebrae, which are in the waist. So by gently filling and releasing, we can give that nerve a bit more space. Good. And now we're going to give it even more space by doing the same exercise, but very gently turning in the waist. Again, we're not turning the hips, we're turning in the waist, so the belly turns inside the hips. And this is giving an asymmetrical stretch, but we're going to do it on both sides. We just turn a little bit, and now we expand the hands forwards and we fill the back. So one side's getting a little bit more space, roll around, the other side's getting a bit more space, and we come in. Hello. And again, expand, roll around and come in. Breathe. So there's no need to force this. If seated work is comfortable, you could do it seated. There is a caution though actually with seated work. It's more intense than standing, so you have to do it even more gently. So standing, if possible, is the softer option. Good. Okay, and you can do as many of these as you like. If it's giving you relief, which it often does, then you can do more. Good, let's draw an S shape and we change direction. Of course, conversely, if you are working with sciatic or nerve issues, one man's meat can be another man's poison, and it may actually help some and hinder others, so you have to listen and feel. The exercise in itself is great, however, only you can feel what's going on within your system at any given time. So sometimes it just needs rest, and other times it will benefit from gentle and mindful manipulation. Good. Okay, so let's come to center, draw the hands in and float up and expand. Now we're expanding, but we're keeping the circle and we're continuing the same movement at the higher level. So really a feeling of swirling the energy around the hands, and the small of the back, we just want to keep a gentle fullness rather than letting it scoop. Remember to breathe. And let's draw an S shape to change direction. Good, very well done. And let's bring everything back to center. We're going to take a deep breath, lift up, and relax down. And again, deep breath, and relax down. One more time. Let's rest the hands level with the waistline. Feel into the body, relax into your body. And let's turn the palms, and if it's comfortable to do so, give your back a wee rub. Good. Okay, I'd like to do a few back releases with you today. Things that you can easily do yourself that are fear-free and that are just very beneficial, little life hacks that you can use. So I'm going to show you a waist release, which is very nice if you're feeling that your waist is kind of tight, if that whole area is kind of locked down. This can happen from sitting for long periods of time, or possibly if you're in like a car accident or something like that, where you get a shock to your system, even missing a step, or going over on your ankle or something like that can be enough to kind of make the muscles tense and not want to release. So very useful and very simple. So what we're going to do is take hold of the waist. We call it the tiger's mouth. I'm just thinking, can you see that? The tiger's mouth is the area between the thumb and the first finger. I'm not wearing contrasting clothes today, but that's it. So the tiger's mouth sits in the waist, and your thumbs are facing the back of your body. So we slide the thumbs all the way until they touch the spine. Bend your knees a little bit just to release your back anyway. And slide your thumbs out again until they fall off the first curve that is the erector spinae muscles. So you have this ropey muscle either side of your spine. So you're bringing your thumb over the curve so that it falls off the first hump, falls off the first curve. And then press your thumbs into your back, flat into your back, and the tips of your thumbs will now be able to touch the edge of that ropey muscle. And we're just going to press the tips of the thumbs inwards against the ropey muscle. And we hold that for up to 20 seconds. And very gently, as we hold, we release any pressure on it. So we get lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. And come away. Good. And then just at the end, just brush your back with the backs of your hands. So that is a really nice little waist release, and it can really help. Say even if you're standing for long periods of time and the lower back or the small of your back starts to get tight or tired or sore. You can do that wee exercise 3 times. You can even do up to 9 times, but I would just do it 3 times maximum. And then later in the day, if your back's still annoying you, do it again. If it's going to help, it will help straight away. So if it's not doing anything, then leave it. But you see what we're doing? We take the waist and we slide the thumbs to touch the spine. We slide over the first bump, either side of the spine. Press your thumbs in to your body, and then the tips of the thumbs gently press the edges of that muscle. And we can start quite firm and then very gently ease off. And brush. Now if your back isn't sore, it won't do you any harm to do that anyway. But if you don't need it, you don't need it. But it can be very, very useful if you do need it, if you're feeling the need for some relief. Okay, let's do it one more time together. So we find the waist, that's the smallest area between your ribs and your hips. And we glide across, touch the spine, slide outwards, laterally, and we fall off the first curve. We press the thumbs into the body, and then the tips of the thumbs presses against the edge of that muscle. And then very, very gradually release any pressure. Slowly, 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 slowly. Good, and little brush at the end. The brush at the end just takes your focus away so that you don't end up feeling that you're still being touched there, even though it's you doing it. Good, okay, so that's the first wee back exercise or back release that I'd like to do. The other one is for the psoas muscle, and no, it's not, sorry, we're going to do piriformis muscle. So the piriformis muscle is a band that stretches across your buttocks, and if you sit cross-legged, like I have been doing, it can get very tight, very sore, or even just if you're doing seated exercise and you get cramp back there or tightness, often it is the piriformis that is the one that's kind of freaking out. So basically the piriformis is in the curve. If you take your fist and just gently feel your buttocks, you'll feel that there's a kind of hollow in them, right in the center of the buttock. And what we're going to do is, with the other hand, we're going to take a fist to the front of the hip. That's called the ASIS point. It's where there's a sort of bony, pointy part at the front of the hip. So you bring your fist there, and with the other hand, we're going to go into the hollow of the buttock and point it towards the fist. So find the hollow, there it is. And you just press your thumb, or you could use your middle finger if you like, a nice strong digit, into that hollow of the buttock and point the thumb towards the opposite hip, the front of the hip, the ASIS point. And again, you can start pressing deep into the muscle and you can just ease off gradually. And just brush with the back of the hand just to release it. Now sometimes it's just one leg that goes, but I quite like to balance both sides if I'm doing this. So again, the fist to the bony raised part at the front of the hip, and feel for the hollow of the buttock on the opposite side. Find the center of that hollow and press your thumb or finger, doesn't matter which finger, in to point to your hand at the opposite hip. Press in deeply and gradually ease off. Good, and a little brush. Good, now what I would do after that, if you're doing it for yourself, is then you can stand for a wee moment and just rest and just see how you feel, but then move around and notice how you feel. Often that can make all the difference in the world. Especially if you get cramp back there, if you get cramp in your buttock, do that. Because it often is just, it's going to take that away nicely for you. Good, okay, so we have been working on the 24 form. We've actually lost someone of the group, they've fallen out. Hopefully they'll get back in. It's maybe an internet connection thing. But yes, we've been working on the 24. So let's have a go through the entire form. And then if there's any particular part you would like to look at or ask questions, then we can do that. Okay, so I'll do the same as you, back view. Let's come over to the side. We lengthen up, chin slightly down and back. We lengthen the fingers down, Calm down. And arrive here and now. Ready? Start. I'm actually going to step back. Just adding on that in order to give more space. So it's an extra, it's not part of the form. Keep going, I'm off screen. There we go. And I want to go off screen, keep going, hum. Feed the weight back and turn towards the back, scooping the arms down, lifting left, kick to the corner. Make a hook, everything smaller, and extend. For snake, creeps down. Turn left, right, left. Filling the left, bring your right side through, heel of hand down. Hook and a little pivot. Everything smaller. Extend on the diagonal. Relax. Right, left, right. Fill the right side. Left side lifts. Heel of hand down. Jade Maiden. Again, from here, half step. Needle to sea bottom. Come up, fan through back. Block, parry, punch. Apparent close up. Very good. How did you get on? Okay, so I'm going to open it up to any questions. If there's a particular part that you would like to look at, you'd like to revise, or you'd just like to repeat, or if you prefer, we can do the whole form again. If you want to see it from a different view, please don't be shy, do ask. John, is there anything that you would like to see? Tie myself in knots here. No? Okay. Ursula, anything? Oh, hold on. Honestly, watching rather than doing. Yep, that's fine. There's still, if there's any questions though. Yes. Okay. Yeah, great, that's grand. Lovely. Ursula, is there any section? No? Okay. Okay. Well, we had got to, I think we had got to, we'd been doing a little bit of Jade Maiden. I think that was roughly where we were, Jade Maiden. So let's have a look at Jade Maiden a little bit, and then maybe we'll do the whole form again. Okay, so I named my school after Jade Maiden. I wonder if I did the right thing, because it sounds like a name, and so people think that's my name. Maybe I should just go to deed poll and make it my name. But anyway, it is interesting because it's slightly different in the way we step. If you look back to the first couple of steps, your separate wild horse's mane and your brush knee push step, you had this weight forwards, weight back, turn, weight forwards and in. Now the way I do Jade Maiden is slightly different. If you watch, we're stepping and we're screwing in. So it's not forwards and back and turn and forwards. It has this kind of sinking, twisting element. So I think it's a little bit more advanced. It has a little bit more of a flourish. So if you watch, please, the Jade Maiden, we step to the corner and we twist, pushing off the back foot and sinking into the front foot. So we come through center and step, making sure that there's some width. We're not just going straight. We have a little bit of width. And then as we block, the back heel pushes back so that we have a feeling of expanding forwards and something is expanding back. And then release, starting to turn on the heel. Again, we twist into it, sinking into it, coming through and step and blocking And again, the heel goes back as the hand comes forwards. Watch it at the side, please. So what have we just done? We've just done our golden cockerel. Stands on one leg. So we step to the corner and twist, lifting off the back heel, sinking into the front, but remaining upright. We come through center and step. The back heel feeds back as we expand forwards. And then release back, starting to turn, pushing off the back foot, screwing into the front foot, coming through center, step. Again, look at the back heel. And rest. Good. So, let's look at the legs. Then let's look at the arms. Okay. Follow me, please. Actually, what we will do is, if you come towards me, so rather than going sideways on for now, I just want you to get a good view of the positioning. All right, so we're going to start by standing on our, getting into the screen. Okay, standing on the right leg. Remember, the body is open to the side. It's not square for golden cockerel. The body open to the side allows the leg to lift easily. If it's painful, just balance the toe. That's absolutely fine. But if you can, you do your balance. So we step to the corner, push off the back foot, screw into the front foot, come through center, step, block, left hand in front of heart, and the heel pushes back as the hand pushes forwards. Release, feed back, start to turn, arms start to sink, push off the back foot, screw into the front foot, step, block, in front of the heart, heel goes back as hand goes forwards, and rest. Good, so we can do that again. You can keep the stances as small as you need to. It doesn't have to be huge. For some reason, I always find that my body just wants to go big in this part of the form. But as always, we do what is right for us at that moment. So, standing on the right, one more time, please. Lengthen through the top of the head, chin down and back. And step, screw into the front. Step, block, push the heel back. Back, screw into the front foot. Step, block, push the heel back. And rest. Good. Now the arms, by comparison, are relatively easy, though there is some finesse to it. We want the palms to start facing up, and as they rise, they roll. The palm rolls over. So the entire movement is a big rolling action. So very like your single whip. If you remember single whip, when you step, as you turn, your hand turns by degrees with your body, like a compass or a protractor, and then expand. So you don't turn your hand and then open, and you don't open and then turn your hand. As you turn, your hand rolls over. And this is exactly the same. The hand rolls over as it rises. So it acts as a conveyor belt. If someone were to punch you and you were to block, it means that you're actually drawing their arm along by rolling against their skin. Not only that, but you're spreading the impact of any force behind their punch or push across the full of the lower arm, rather than just you blocking and getting one little point with all the impact, which could actually break your bone. So it's a very useful technique, but not only from the martial perspective, it also means that you are engaging and massaging all of the meridians within your arm, which means that you're getting a lovely spiral of energy and a little spa treatment for your body as the meridians get massaged. Think of acupuncture, how important, how potent it is to have a tiny little needle stuck in one little place. An entire energetic motorway gets influenced. Well, the same is true every time we roll the hands, roll the arm over and stretch in a movement. Everything is getting a little spa treatment. Okay, so let's see from hug ball. Okay, so if I do it mirrored for you. So one hand is up, one hand is down. We're going to do hug ball. And now lower hand rolls up. And the other hand pretty much just moves ever so slightly in front of the heart, and then both arms expand at the same time. So you should be able to look past your middle finger of your front hand, so it shouldn't be too high. So it's about level with your nose. And the other hand, if you wiggle your fingers, you should be able to see the palm with your peripheral vision. So if it goes too far back, you can see how that's lost all cohesion. So we want to keep structural integrity. Good, then we simply relax down to hug ball. And we do the same thing on the other side. We roll up in front of the heart and push. Expand both arms. Good, Jade, Maiden plays Shuttles. Relax down. Now I'm sure you know this because I'm sure I've told you already, but I'll let you know again. Jade, Maiden plays Shuttles, or sometimes referred to as Fair Maiden works loom. So different names, same basically, just different translations. It's referring to a beautiful woman working a loom, so doing some textile construction. So the idea is you lift the bar of the loom and you send the shuttle through. So a lot of martial arts have been developed through copying people at work in whatever they're doing. So whether they're gardening, whether they're working in the fields, you can see, spear practice just taken directly from people mopping the floor and mowing or hoeing the garden and all the rest of it. So martial artists look at workers and see how beautiful their movements are and how they have great potential for martial arts, and it just feeds straight into martial arts. So there's two things that I see are very prominent in Tai Chi. You see copying master skilled people in their daily grind, and you see copying animals. So you see, white crane opens its wings, white snake spits out its tongue, monkey holds peach. You have a lot of animal movements as well. So let's have another go with both arms and legs together. Again, if you just walk directly towards the screen. So we're going to stand on the right. Ready? And to the corner, twist, hug ball, step through, block, and feed it through. Back, twist, step, block, and feed it through. Well done, and rest. Let's do it as we do in the form now. So we're going from left to right. So we're going to stand on the right foot. Again, you don't have to lift the knee if it's uncomfortable or if your balance is off or for whatever reason, but you can lift. Ready? Step, twist, step, heel back, back, twist, step, heel back. Well done, and rest. Good job. So I will give you the option, would you like to do the whole form again or guided relaxation? Thumbs up for do the form again? Yeah, okay. Form wins. It's a bit too cold here, to be honest, to do guided relaxation. We haven't got our fuel turned on yet. Last year, my husband turned it off, you know, he turned the tap off to the oil, but he didn't tell me, and yeah, thumbs up, thank you. And I turned it on at the wall, and of course that made an airlock, and much as he's tried, we can't get the airlock off, so we don't have heat yet. So we do have a fire. So guided relaxations, I think it'll be coat, hat, all that stuff. Let's do it, ready? So once through the 24, this time we'll maybe go just a little bit quicker, and what I'd like you to do is flow. So if you're watching it, I want you to see if you can preempt mentally, think, okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? So it's almost like you're telling me what to do. And in fact, you're muted, so you can literally tell me what to do next and I won't hear it. But that will be useful that it proves to you that you know what we're doing. Okay, are we ready? Lengthen up. And relax down. Ready? Start. And let's step back. Just step forwards again. Use your peripheral vision to look around you. Be aware of your surroundings. And forgive me while I reposition. Ready? And now I'm off screen again. Excuse me, let's go from here. And Snake creeps down. Sorry, that's my phone. Can you pause for a second? It's just one of those days. Sorry. Can we go from, let's go from snake creeps down. And again. And here we have our golden cockerel ready. We step, hug ball. Feed it through. Feed it through. And I'm off screen, there we go. Half step. Hands up, turn to the back. Take the weight left, swing the right side in. Right side up and over. Left side down. Twist. And punch. And circle back. Circle forwards. Scoop. Palm facing down. Close left. Recover. Relax into the floor. And a heel tap. Very good. Okay, so repetition is the thing. It sometimes raises questions, and that's good. So if you're doing it and you're going, there's something not right there, that's good, that's progress, because it means that you can do something about it. You can ask questions, or you can explore it further. You can discover that you're making mistakes simply because something doesn't feel right. So before we started the class, we discussed a little bit how one man's meat can be another man's poison, especially if you're working with illness or injury. Not all the exercises in Tai Chi are suitable for everyone at every stage of their development. So it is a question of working consciously and mindfully, listening to the body. So in any form or any practice, you have to be aware if something's hurting, ask yourself, why is this hurting? Is it hurting because I'm doing it wrong? Often that is the case, that there's just some little issue and you can adjust. Just think, well, how would I sort this out? How can I move that will feel better? And often it's the smallest little adjustment and the problem goes away. Rather like trying to take a photograph and you can't see anything because you've got your finger over the lens. You might think, well, I can see nothing, it must be a big problem, and yet if you move your finger ever so slightly, the problem goes away. It's the same. It can be a very small thing that can make a big difference. So sometimes it is an issue that our alignment, that our technique is off, and that can cause discomfort. But sometimes it can be a habitual issue of where we're holding tension, and a particular movement or exercise can just annoy the system and cause that tension to come in. And sometimes it can be, it could be anything. For me, I have fused vertebrae, so doing a particular movement in some exercise form, what was it called? Let's wind down, please. What was it called? Calisthenics, something like that. There was a move that was meant to be ever so good for building strength in the legs, and the move gave me sciatica. I actually started to slip a disc, but then I have fused vertebrae that I didn't know about. And recently I saw some of my Tai Chi colleagues getting really into this calisthenics and showing that exact exercise, going, look, this one's really good. And I saw it and I had such a flashback. I was like, oh my, no. and that one's the one that hurt me. So not all exercises are great for everyone all of the time, but you never know until you try. If you do notice that there is a particular movement that is a culprit, that is setting something off, then definitely talk to your teacher about it and probably just don't do that exercise. There are always alternatives that are safe and that are appropriate. So let's go down the legs, knees, lower legs, ankles and feet, and up the body again. Unfortunately, sometimes one bad experience can be like the rotten apple that spoils the cart. I haven't done calisthenics since I injured myself doing that, but I don't need to. I've got Tai Chi. I've got other stuff that I can do that's very good. Let's go over the shoulders. But I'm sure it's a very good system. It's just not for me. Good, okay, let's shake out. And we're going to do our 100 ailments go away. Now, if you have sciatica, nerve pain, migraine, toothache, anything like that, then don't do this one. Just don't do it. Because it's otherwise known as a spinal jolt. So it's sending a shiver up through your spine. So if you wanted to, as an alternative, you could do a very light bounce, and that would give you something of it. But if you don't have those nerve pains, you can lift up your hands and go floppy at the wrists and bounce, and then let all your wobbly bits go nice and wobbly. Let your wrists bounce, because again, you're getting a meridian stimulation, and you're getting a lovely lymph drainage for your arms. Good. And relax down. And the expression in Tai Chi goes, 7 heel taps every day, 100 ailments go away. So basically, the combination of pumping with your calf muscles, the up-down motion, it's pumping the lymph. But also the impact, as long as it's not annoying your nerves, is actually strengthening your bones and shocking any little blockages of energy out of existence. I think of it like plopping a strawberry into a glass of champagne. You just get all these bubbles. And if you stand after that exercise and listen to your body, you'll often feel a kind of effervescence, a kind of bubbling, a tingling sensation of energy flowing through you. So it's a nice exercise to finish on, because then you can think of taking that released energy and guiding it back into your center. Hugging your elbows in, feeling into your belly, breathing into your belly, and allowing that lovely bubbling sensation to gently transition into a feeling of fullness and calm in the belly. Feel the touch, the temperature of your hands flowing into your center. And feel your energy is stronger. Beautiful. Well done, everyone. Relax down and we'll salute. So I hope you enjoyed today's class. Keep gently moving is all I can say. It is much better to gently move than to just stop and stay still. There are times to stop and stay still, absolutely, but you should not be still for days at a time, because then we atrophy, our strength diminishes. So gentle movement, doesn't even need to be Tai Chi, but just gently moving around, even just hugging your knees and gently rocking side to side and forwards and back in bed. But just a little bit of movement can really help the energy flow and so help with healing. Thanks again, grateful for sciatic related stuff. I think it's fun. Great, thank you very much indeed. Okay everyone, so we'll say thank you for now, and I hope you continue to feel better, and those who are going through the wars, and I look forward to seeing you next time.